29 is this patch a day. All right, so we're going to do something to the stutter object with the by request from pulsetrains requested something about windowing on Stutter, although I really just want to start with Stutter because I never really played with Stutter, so I'll look at Stutter. And I'm just going to pretty much here use the help patch, so I'm going to option click that bad boy. That way we've starting with something which is already built. I can get rid of all this stuff. And I suppose I've said this before, but if you're going to play with this thing, when you don't hit save, unless you're on a somewhat protected system, and you can save it. When you want to save it, probably want to save it as a max 5 patcher rather than a help patcher. Or else when you open it up, Max will complain. Not that that's anything new. Max likes to complain. Stutter, Stutter mine, yeah. So I'm just going to edit the thing. I don't think I'll need additional messages, so I'll get rid of that. I suppose instead of using the ADC here, because I can't do anything very interesting with my voice, I'll do SF play. And this outlet here has ceased to be meaningful now. And I suppose I'll want to hear what's being played live. And I'm going to open message open drum loop .aif, comma, loop 1 with space 1, comma 1, so that I'm going to be playing back this drum loop file. Okay, so we can just verify that this thing works. Okay, we'll open that and start it playing. Okay, it's in auto grab mode by default. That's because there's a hidden load bang here with that message. And you can see that you can change this grain size and that plays. Oh, can you hear anything that's going on? Alright, I'll turn that off. I suppose the first thing that springs to mind or comes to mind is that you are not necessarily interested in windowing something that's got a drum beat. Because why? Because drums are essentially noise. Be careful what I say here, but yeah, drums are carefully sort of noise, and I suppose we're going to be creating clicks in the file when we stutter at odd places. So that would imply that we don't really that we don't care. Is that what it implies? I think that might be what it implies. Yes, I think that is it. We just don't care because noise with clicks, what's the difference really? All right. I'm going to use SF info and do something to make these stutters happen at some kind of multiple or some division. Division is a better word. Yes, division of the sample, the size of the sample that's being played in the SF play. So I'm going to use an SF info to get that information. SF info, and we can open the drum loop just as we did here. Actually, I can just duplicate that message. We're not going to be able to hit messages loop 1 and 1 will not be recognized as anything useful. When we want to get the info out of this, we'll want to bang it. So we can hit the open message, and every time you hit bang, you're going to get a bunch of information out about that sound file. Assuming that it's found it, I can see in my Max window. Yes, it does know where it is. Oh yeah, that's right, because it's in the search path. Okay, so now if we want to do something here, we can see that this grain size is in samples. I might just take that away, make this something. I might get rid of like all sorts of stuff here. Sure, I don't want to get rid of that number. All right, that stuff I don't care. Load bang, whatever. Okay, now I am going to put in a, yeah, so I want to do something with the file length of this file. I'm going to make divisions of that file length. So I'm going to use a new object here, ms, which is short for milliseconds, to samps. Perfect. See how easy that was? So milliseconds to samps. You'll see that it has a signal coming out here for the samples. And this is the samples value that we're interested in here. So we're going to use that. We're going to divide that value. So we'll do a reciprocal divide by. This way we can store this milliseconds value here and divide it by whatever comes in here. Let's go with the key object here. So I'm going to use key, and I'm only interested in the keys on my keyboard, on the number keys on my keyboard, so I'm going to split between like 49 and I don't know what, 59, sure. I think that's 1 through 0 on your keypad. It might not be, so I might just be safe and say that's 1 through 9. And I'm going to connect that in here. I'm going to divide it by actually powers of 2, because you divide a sample by 4 and you divide it by 8 and divide it by 16. You get those typical kind of bar division things going on. First thing I'm going to want to do is turn this into a number 1 through 9. Is that what I said? Sure. Okay. So I'm going to subtract 48 from that. And I will do a 2 to the power whatever. So 2 to the power 1 is 2, 2 to the power 2 is 4, 2 to the power 3 is 8, and so on. So I'm going to make a trigger here, because, well, actually we could explain why first. If I'm using the power object, which is what I will use, because that's the sort of perfect object for making powers, it's going to raise 2, so raise x, and 2 will be the x to the power blah blah blah. So I'm interested in the giving it the message 2 every time I want to perform this operation. So 2 to the power this. Okay. And I'm going to divide this, the length of this sound file, by that number. This kind of should just work. Let's just try to make sure I clicked that, turn this on, hit some. Okay, not very musical. If I hit the number 1, you'll see that we have a number of samples here of 7699. That wouldn't work currently, because this Stutter help patch has this number of samples value in here as 22050. So we want to lower it up. Let's just give it 8000 to be safe. Now it should work for the number 1 as well. Alright, so that's kind of useful, and I will show you in the next patch a day how to do the windowing, although, yeah, I'm still kind of hesitant, but I will. Anyway, I'll see you in patch a day 30. Bye.